Okay, Korsun Pocket SSG Matrix Games. Continuing with the tutorials, moving on to lesson number 6. Alright, we're going to look at using the replay function, viewing eliminated units, clearing minefields, clearing detachments, taking replacements, and using the combat advisor. So using the replay function. In email games and games against a computer opponent, you have access to a replay function which will allow you to review what occurred in the previous turn. The replay button is in the control panel, down here. In the control panel, bottom row left, click on it. Click on the Run Replay button. Run Replay. Okay, and we see units moving around, taking actions, attacking, counterattacking. Nice speed, actually. Oh, and they're even, each action is numbered and described. Huh. Units entrenching, blue units entrenching. End of replay. The rewind replay takes you back to the start. Okay, the replay next action. Replay next action takes you through your opponent's turn one action at a time. Okay, 1 of 48, moving stack. This gives you a chance to read the text and get an exact idea of what is happening. Number 2, moving stack. Number 3, moving stack. Number 4, moving stack. Number 5, moving stack. Okay. Replay next combat. Run to next combat. It'll pause when you get to the combat. Moving. There we go, resolving combat. Okay. So there you see, you got the indication of the location. You got all the details there, result. Oh yeah, result and everything. Okay. You will need to click the button again. Move on to the next combat. There we go. Finally, in the top right corner of the replay panel is the small exit to dismiss the replay function. All right. Okay. In email games or against a vicious and cunning human opponent, really should review the replay. In solitaire games against a computer, 2 of these functions can be accessed from the unit display area. A next so select unit display area. Okay, unit display. A next combat button allows you to interrupt the AI's move at each combat. A run button instructs the AI to play through the turn, pausing for a few seconds after each combat. Okay. Next, viewing eliminated units. There are 2 ways to view eliminated units. We've touched on the first already. That's the order of battle screen. And look for the skull and crossbones. There. There's 1 eliminated unit, a second eliminated unit. Okay. Click on each of these units in turn. Okay, so let's click on this unit down here. 3rd Armor, unit KIA'd on turn 4 at 22-3, at hex 22-3. And similarly, 1st Mechanized, KIA'd on turn 4 at 21-6. Alright, click on the Blue Force Nationality button to examine your opponent's... Oh, okay. To examine the opponent's order of battle, there's one eliminated artillery unit. Similarly, first artillery unit KIA'd on turn 4 at 23-4, hex 23-4. Okay, click the resume button. Alright, the second way is visually stunning. Go to the convenience control area in the bottom right. Yep, the KIA button right there. All the units are removed. And there they are. No, are those? Wait. The leftmost quartet, it's the bottom with the skull. Yeah, that's the button there. All units on the battlefield are removed, replaced by the units eliminated. Okay, so these are the units eliminated. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay. In the location where they fell. There are 3 in a neat cluster above the city of Litchfield. Right there, Litchfield. You can right-click on them, and it brings up the pop-up, battlefield pop-up. Similar to what we've already seen. Okay. Click again to restore the battlefield. Oh, click this one again to restore the battlefield. Hotkey for this button is K, K, K. Alright. Clearing minefields. You cannot clear minefields until you control the hex they occupy. Let's take a look at some of the enemy minefields on the battlefield. Right click on hex 2415. 24... Where am I? 2415, 2414, 2415. The hex is controlled by Blue Force. Yeah, because it's behind the blue front line there. Minefield therein is dark blue in color. So are they referring to... That's the strong point. Oh, here. Okay, there. Must be the minefield they're talking about. Alright. On the right side of the battlefield pop-up is the graphic, which gives you a clear picture of the chosen hex relationship to adjacent hexes. Yeah, overprinted on the minefield in this graphic is the numeral 3. That's what we were just looking at. So there, the numeral 3 there. Alright, the minefield will be cleared as soon as the hex is controlled by your units and the numeral decrements to 0. Right click on the minefields in hex 2312, 2312, 2312. Alright, and 2211. 2211 here. 2211, okay. The first is light blue. Okay, there it is in the display on the right hand side there. Light blue in color with a dark key line and the numeral 2, yes. The second is the same color but without the key line and displays the numeral 1. Yep. The minefield clearing process occurs at the very beginning of your opponent's turn. Enemy minefields in hexes you control decrement by 1 if there is an enemy unit, not strong point, adjacent to the hex in question at the start of your opponent's turn. Otherwise they decrement by 2 unless a unit with bridge repairing capability is in the hex, in which case the minefield decrements by 3. Enemy minefields have 2 effects on your operations. Neither effect is reduced in any way by the current state of the minefield. They exert their full effect until completely cleared. So all this process of decrementing 1, 2, or 3 per turn, or none, I guess. Yeah, none. 0, 1, 2, or 3. That does not influence the power or influence of the minefield. Minefields increase the OP cost to enter in affected hex, plus, let's see if it's on there. +7 in this battle, as you can see by tapping the P key. Alright, so I'm going back to the Battlefield screen, I'm tapping P. Oh, okay. Ooh, nice. Okay, so, and they prevent the award of favorable tactical shifts in combat when units in them attempt to attack the enemy. Makes sense. Alright, the start of the next lesson, we'll see what happens when an engineer battalion is moved forward to speed up the clearing process. Okay, so that's normal clearing. And you have engineers to speed up the process, if I understand that correctly. Clearing detachments. This is easy. You don't have to have any control over clearing detachments. They persist for one turn and then disappear. They have the same effect on your operations as do minefields. Taking replacements. Alright, you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs, as they say, so no matter how well the battle goes, your units will take casualties and therefore need to absorb replacements. Replacements are managed in the replacement area. That's underneath the battlefield. This must be this area because we've talked about the motor pool area and the air support area, so it must be this one. Immediately to the right of the motor pool area, like the interdiction. Okay, interdiction area, motor pool area, and replacements area. Replacement area. Is divided into two sections. I guess we're talking top and bottom. So I'm going to right click, okay, and right click, okay. The upper section provides information. Right click in the upper section to bring up the replacement data pop-up. We'll consider the replacement data in this lesson. The first column, IN, right there, tells you how many armor and infantry replacements you receive. Oh, okay. This, armor replacements and infantry replacements. Alright. For the highlighted turn. Okay. For example, on turn 5, this turn you get 1 infantry replacement. On turn 7, you'll get 1 armor and 1 infantry replacement. Whoops. So if I go like that and I go down to 7, there we go. Scroll or put the cursor over 7, you get +1 armor, +1 infantry. Second column, pool, right there. I'll go back to turn 5. Pool tells you how many of each type have accumulated. In this case, 2 armor and 5 infantry replacements. The unit icon sporting the generic Red Force nationality symbol relates solely to alert points, and we'll deal with those in a later lesson. Oh, down here, I think. They're referring to that one. Let's see, the third column, the black skull graphic. Alright, so that's this one. Black skull graphic tells you how many steps have been lost in your army, which cannot be replaced by the internal resources of the affected units. In this case, no armor and 4 infantry steps. Finally, the fourth column, the red skull graphic, tells you how many steps have been lost in your army, which can be replaced by the internal resources of the affected unit or units. In this case, 1 armor and no infantry steps. The lower section of the replacement area has 2 buttons which toggle between armor and infantry replacements in exactly the same way as the 2 buttons in the interdiction area toggled between air and partisan activity. When the infantry button is dominant, okay, so armor, oh, what happened? Okay. Alright, when the infantry button is dominant, you see available infantry replacements, 5. Oh, that's referring to these 5. In the upper section, when the armor button is dominant, oh, okay, you see available armor replacements, 2, right there, 2. In the upper section, the dominant button includes an arrow. Yes, okay, the arrow. Clicking on this button will cycle through all units eligible to receive a replacement of the chosen type. That's nice. So armor, Alright, let's go to infantry. 1. Okay, I guess it's 2. Okay. For your convenience, you can see at a glance which units are eligible for the chosen replacement type. Click in the upper section of the replacement area. Is that correct? Alright. Eligible units are clearly visible. Ineligible units are those not needing the chosen replacement type or grayed out. Oh, grayed out, okay. Up here, yeah, okay, that works. Up there in the... Oh, yeah, 1 and 2, the 2 that we cycled through. Okay. A grayed out. Click again to restore the battlefield. I hope they mean there. Okay. Choose infantry as the dominant replacement type. Okay. Click on the infantry replacement button, and the first unit eligible to accept infantry replacement will be selected, and its details shown in the unit display area. Cycle through the eligible units until you get to the 3rd Regiment, or get to the 3 regiments of 2nd Infantry Division. Oh, there they are. 4th Infantry, 6th Infantry, and 5th Infantry of 2nd Infantry. Okay. All 3 regiments of the 2nd Infantry Division can accept a replacement. Immediately to the right of each regiment's division integrity, here. Division integrity, so here, here, and here. That must be the replacement, allows replacements, okay. Accept replacement button. Click on the accept replacement button for the 4th Infantry Regiment here. So I'm going to click on there. Several changes take place. The black skull disappears. Oh, the black skull that was there disappears. Replaced by a vital step. The accept replacement button disappears. It's no longer there. That's right. Only 1 replacement per unit may be taken on any given turn. The unit loses its action capability. Yep, it's what did I call that before? It's status button or whatever turned yellow. Okay. Add a replacement to the 5th and 6th Infantry Regiments, then cycle to the 10th Infantry Regiment, add a replacement. Okay, so there, and then cycle to the 10th, and replacement there. Alright. All your units are now at full strength. You have 1 infantry replacement in reserve. That's that one right there. The undo button will reverse a replacement action. Choose armor as the dominant replacement type. Click on the armor replacement button. And the first and only unit eligible to accept an armor replacement will be selected, and its details shown in the unit display area. This is the 1st Armored Cavalry. Okay, I know what we're going to talk about here, because that's not a black skull. You have 2 options when considering replacements for units with timed losses. That's the red skull there with the 4 over it. You can assign a replacement just as you do for fixed losses. Do that now, okay? Do that now. So I did that. The red skull is replaced with a vital step, yes, and the timed replacement capability is restored. You don't waste the timed replacement capability if you use a fixed replacement. The second option is to wait for the prescribed number of turns, 4 in this example, to elapse, whereafter this step will be recovered. When steps are recovered through the timed replacement structure, action capability is not consumed. Yep, so there's the action indicators now yellow. Managing your replacements carefully is important. Always try to keep a few in reserve for emergencies. Don't assign them just because a unit can accept them. Alright, using the combat advisor. Okay, we have provided a very powerful tool which allows players to identify which targets are most vulnerable. Combat advisor button is in the control panel, top row left, right there. Click on it like that. All enemy hexes, meaning all these here, all enemy hexes against which you can mount an attack are overprinted with a translucent combat graphic. Yeah, and the best odds value that can be achieved. Odds shown in yellow. Odds shown in yellow. Okay, so yellow, yellow, but here we have green. So Odds shown in yellow identify overrun targets. Pay attention to these. Odds shown in other colors identify targets on a sliding scale. Green indicates an excellent opportunity. Orange represents a possible opportunity, while red indicates a poor opportunity. Okay. Click on the enemy units in hex 22.5. 22.5. 22.5. Okay, so click on the enemy units. The 8th and 9th Grenadier Regiment and the 1st Panzer Regiment. How come it doesn't... How would I know that? I could go to that. Okay, 9th Grenadier, 8th Grenadier, yes, and 1st Panzer. Okay, but they don't show up over here. Alright. Combat Advisor will tell you which units are needed to achieve the advised odds. In hexes where you have more than one unit, use the battlefield pop-up to identify which units are chosen. Chosen units show their normal unit icon. Others show a generic nationality icon. I see. So I guess all of those red units, including that one, would need to take part in that attack to get the 8-to-1 odds. I think that's how that goes. All you have to do is move them into place and conduct the attack. You can do that for yourself right now and execute the combat. Alright. Alright. I guess there's not too much more to do for this lesson. Alright.